It's a hot day in May. 3.5-year-old Emma, in her little rainbow t-shirt and white hat, it's the 80s, is in Murray Hill Park, and she's walking up the hill towards the wading pool. When we get there, the wading pool is empty. First, a look of devastation passes over her face, then anger, and then determination. She turns around and starts walking back towards the swings. Her little fists are waving in the air, and she's yelling at the top of her lungs, "Why is there no water? There should be water. The people want water. The people need water." The people stop and stare at this advocate toddler who is militantly working for their rights. That's more than 30 years ago, and she has not materially changed. So, at age 14, I'm sitting on the couch writing charts, which is what we used to do in those days. And Emma comes and sits down next to me. And in that significant drawl, with the eye-rolling contempt that only a 14-year-old can muster, as she has discovered that her parents are just like fallible human beings, she looks at me and she goes, "You know, I'm never going to be a doctor, Mom." What? Okay, so honestly, I had never thought Emma would be a doctor. Lawyer, maybe. Revolutionary, probably. So I say to her, "Okay, do what you want." And she looks at me and huffs off. So at age 17, Emma gets a summer job working as a receptionist at Zubeda's clinic, a clinic where I see mostly refugee patients and pregnant women. And from the perspective of the front desk, their stories and their troubles touch her compassionate heart. So, when she's in medical school, she comes to me one day and she says, "You know, Mama, I don't know what specialty I'm going to go into. I don't think I'm going to be a family doctor." I said, "Look, Emma, sweetheart, medicine fulfills 3 needs in the doctor. There's the puzzle need, the need to figure out what's going on and what's happening. But if you only had a puzzle need, you would be a bench scientist. Then there's the fix-it need, the need to get in there and make things work, make people better. And then there's the soap opera need, which is, the need to understand people and their stories and what they need and how this affects them. When you figure out which balance of the needs are yours, you'll figure out what specialty you'll want to do." So, when Emma's in her family medicine residency, she's talking to one of her mentors, a woman who had been one of my residents years before. And she's saying to her, you know, I think I might apply for the third year family medicine emergency program. And her mentor looks at her over her glasses and says, oh, come on, Emma. Stop yourself. You love continuity of care. You love advocating for your patients. And frankly, you come alive in the delivery room. Don't not do something because you're afraid of turning into your mother. You'll do it well, and you'll do it in your own way. You'll make it your own. So, a few weeks ago, we were lying on the couch, you know, our natural habitat. And Emma has brought her son, Emile, to sleep over because she's about to start her shift in labor and delivery. As we listen to Dave and Emile laughing uproariously in the other room, Emma and I are discussing the case that she's going to deal with tonight. A woman who was spirited out of her war-torn country just as the bombs began to fall. Pregnant with twins, somehow she made it to Montreal. Somehow she found Emma as a care provider. Emma and her crew, her colleagues at her clinic, with bulldog determination, advocated for this woman, finding her housing and furniture and everything she needed, helping her navigate the intricacies of the refugee process. Now she's being induced and will probably deliver overnight. Sitting on the couch, our feet together, we're chatting like two colleagues who value and love each other. And then off we go. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings and Emma wakes me up. She is flying. The delivery went really, really well. With only a little help from her obstetrician colleagues, she delivered the twin boys of this patient with whom she had formed such a close bond. The father, watching on FaceTime or WhatsApp or something, half a war-torn world away, weeping as he watches his sons born into Emma's capable hands. As the two babies are placed on their mother's breasts, the mother also bursts into tears, tears of relief and joy. Emma was so moved. And the patient was so grateful. So Emma tells me this story, and I'm super touched. I too feel really moved and really proud of her. But I'm also really happy that I'm the one she wanted to call first. So, Emma, the torch has been passed.